So at this moment, Jinwoo is still trapped inside a red gate, which is a dungeon resembling a dense forest. After traversing the forest, Jinwoo finally encountered the dungeon boss, which looked like Hylos. The monster said, "Hey human, are you the one who slaughtered my comrades? I have to admit I'm impressed by you. You even dared to come here alone and speak our language. But this will be the end of your journey. My comrades have contacted you. Come out." But strangely, not a single monster came out. The monster was puzzled, wondering why none of its comrades were emerging. Jinwoo nonchalantly said, "Did you think I came alone? How amusing. Come out." In the blink of an eye, the Shadow Army emerged, carrying the carcasses of monsters. It turned out the Shadow Army had already slaughtered the horde of monsters in secret. Seeing this, the monster was in disbelief and furious. "Damn it!" After the Shadow Army gathered, Jinwoo began issuing his command. "Attack!" Instantly, the Shadow Army commenced their assault. Simultaneously, the remaining monster forces also began their attack. The two armies started battling each other. Iron and the High Orcs effortlessly cut down the monsters. On one side, several monsters started charging towards Jinwoo. However, the tank from the rear instantly finished off those monsters with its claws. Seeing his forces being continuously wiped out, the boss monster became enraged. "You bastard, enough playing around." But in an instant, Baru, with his claws, severed the monster's right arm, completely severing it. Meanwhile, Igris, from below, slashed the monster's left leg. Of course, the monster lost its balance and fell. Tusk, from the front, activated his gravity magic, reverse gravity. Immediately, the monster was subjected to an immensely powerful gravitational pressure, rendering it unable to move. Jinwoo then approached it and said, "Now answer my questions. The pain will lessen if you answer quickly." However, in the end, the monster couldn't provide an answer. Jinwoo grumbled, "Damn it, again I couldn't get any information. The system must be interfering again." Jinwoo then retrieved a key from his system inventory because the conditions had been met. The details of the key were revealed. It was a key to enter the Temple of Kartanon. Its location would be revealed after some time. Jinwoo was then bound by memories of the past during the double dungeon incident. This system is finally asking me to go there again, to the place where all this began. But this time, it won't be like before. If all this was planned from the beginning, then just wait. I will definitely go there. The scene then shifted to America. There, the voice of a hunter in a high-level dungeon was heard. The hunter was terrified and said, "Who are you?" And it turned out the figure in front of the hunter was the Frost Monarch. Shortly after, another mysterious figure emerged from a gate. It was Yuk Moon, the Transfiguration Monarch. The Frost Monarch said, "What are you doing here, Yuk Moon?" Yuk Moon replied, "I came to give you information about the small eastern plain where the Shadow Monarch resides. Besides that, it seems the rulers are trying to exterminate the Legion in the southern plains. So I'm going there. And one more thing, I received interesting news. Someone on Earth has been recognized as a fragment of the brightest light." The Frost Monarch laughed and said, "Ha ha ha ha, truly interesting. Very well, just send him to me." But suddenly, the Frost Monarch sensed someone's arrival and said, "It seems we've attracted attention. It appears this person possesses power from a fragment of the rulers." At that moment, an uninvited guest arrived, who turned out to be Sung Il-hwan, the father of Sung Jinwoo. The man said, "Small Eastern Plain, do you mean Korea? Why do you want to know?" Yuk Moon said, "Let's just go. I don't want to waste time dealing with him." The Frost Monarch said, "Try to catch us if you can." In an instant, Jinwoo's father immediately drew his weapon to attack. "I won't let you escape so easily." However, at the critical moment, the Frost Monarch calmly blocked the attack with his ice wall. As a result, a massive explosion occurred. The scene then returned to where Jinwoo was. After clearing the red gate, Jinwoo had now returned to his office, carrying a bag full of high-quality mana crystals. Of course, Jinho, who saw it, was very shocked. "Hyung-nim, you are truly amazing. With all of these, we don't need to worry about the workers' salaries." "Huh?" "What workers are you talking about?" asked Jinwoo. Jinho answered, "Have you forgotten that we need other members? But before that, there's still an important matter we need to resolve. Has Hyungnim decided on our guild's name?" Jinwoo just realized that their guild didn't have a name yet. "I completely forgot about that, Jinho. How about naming it Solo Guild?" Jinho was startled upon hearing that ridiculous name, but he also couldn't argue because Hyungnim always fights alone. Still, the name sounded ridiculous. In the middle of their conversation, suddenly someone knocked on the door. Jinho then opened it. The person asked, "Is this really the office of Hunter Sung Jinwoo's guild?" Jinho answered, "Yes, that's correct." When Jinho saw the person's face, he was very surprised. It turned out the visitor was Hunter Cha Ha-in. Jinwoo then asked, "What brings Miss Cha Ha-in here?" Shyly, Cha Ha-in said, "I want to join your guild." Jinwoo was a little surprised why Hunter Cha Ha-in suddenly wanted to join his guild. Because Jinwoo didn't understand, he asked, "Did the guildmaster of hunters kick you out?" Cha Ha-in answered that the guildmaster didn't kick her out. "Then why do you want to join the Solo Guild?" asked Jinwoo. Hearing that, Cha Ha-in was very surprised. "Huh? Your guild's name is Solo Guild?" Jinwoo replied, "Is there a problem with the guild name that I and the vice master chose?" "Huh? Didn't you decide on that name yourself, Hyungnim?" Jinho said, pale. Jinwoo said, "I thought your silence meant you agreed with the name, Jinho. But oh well." Jinwoo thought to himself, "I don't understand why the name I suggested is so unacceptable." Setting that issue aside, Jinwoo looked back at Cha Ha-in. Jinwoo then asked, "Why do you want to join our guild?" "This is a useless place for you, Hunter Cha. We even have very little money, so we can't afford to hire a hunter of your caliber." On the other hand, Ha-in was a little confused about how to explain it. "If I explain my real reason to him, he'll definitely think I'm crazy," murmured Cha Ha-in. She then recalled her past when she first met Jinwoo. From their first meeting, Ha-in was already attracted because Jinwoo had a pleasant scent compared to other hunters. Since that first meeting, Cha Ha-in grew more and more curious about Hunter Sung Jinwoo. She also often searched for information about Hunter Sung Jinwoo. Cha Ha-in also knew that many netizens hated Jinwoo, but after investigating further, she realized that Jinwoo wasn't a bad person, and she became even more interested when she found out that Jinwoo was the one who saved her life from the brink of death during the Jeju Island raid. Yes, so essentially Cha Ha-in had fallen in love with Hunter Sung Jinwoo, and at this moment Cha Ha-in's face was seen turning red. She thought to herself, "How can I hide this? All I want is to stay by his side for the rest of my life, but there's no way I can say that directly." She became flustered, her face growing redder. However, on the other hand, Jinwoo wasn't a dense person. Jinwoo was still wondering, why isn't she answering my question? And why is her face turning red? She must be hiding something. But one thing's for sure, she has prepared for this for a long time. Jinwoo then asked once more, "Can you answer my question from earlier?" Embarrassed and stammering, Ha-in answered, "Comfortable. This is the first time I felt comfortable. So, may I join your guild, Hunter Sung?" Hearing Hunter Cha's answer, both Jinho and Jinwoo were very surprised. Jinho whispered, "What did you do to her to make her act like this, Hyungnim?" "I don't know either," whispered Jinwoo back. Jinwoo thought, Hunter Cha Ha-in's age seems to be around 22 or 23, so I'm sure there's a lot of pressure from being an S-rank hunter at such a young age. Jinwoo then said, "To be frank, our guild has an entrance test." Cha Ha-in answered, "What kind of test do I have to do?" Seeing Cha Ha-in's determination, Jinwoo felt that Hunter Cha was very serious. "All right, if you can complete the strength challenge, you may join our guild." Cha Ha-in replied, "I hope you won't underestimate me, Hunter Sung Jinwoo." "What kind of challenge do you mean?" Jinwoo smiled and said, "I will summon my strongest shadow soldier specifically to fight you." "All right, I accept your challenge," answered Cha Ha-in. "But when does the test start?" "Let's do it right now. How about we do it at the Hunter Association's training room?" Cha Ha-in then moved to open the door to leave. Jinwoo said, "No need to trouble yourself going that way, Hunter Cha." Cha Ha-in was a little confused by what Jinwoo meant, because to get to the training room, One obviously had to leave first. Jinwoo said again, "There's a faster way to get there." Jinwoo then took Cha Hai-in's hand and activated the skill shadow exchange. Cha Hai-in's face turned red as she was held by Jinwoo. And at that moment, a black aura enveloped them both, and they disappeared. In an instant, they had teleported to the Hunter Association's training room. Of course, Cha Hai-in, who had suddenly been transported there, was utterly shocked. What? How did you get us here, Hunter Sung? Jinwoo answered, "I'll explain later. Now let's start the test." "But I didn't bring my weapon," said Cha Hai-in. Jinwoo then remembered that Cha Hai-in once carried a frying pan. Jinwoo said, "Is that frying pan weapon what you mean, Hunter Cha?" Cha Hai-in, remembering that, was very embarrassed. "That's not my weapon, Hunter Sung. But don't worry, there should be weapons stored in the training room storage." Cha Hai-in then entered the weapon storage to retrieve a sword. "All right, I'm ready with this." "It seems she's really serious," murmured Jinwoo. "Judging from Hunter Cha's strength, my ordinary shadow soldiers would be easily defeated by her." "All right, Igris, come out." Responding to his master's command, Igris emerged. Jinwoo said, "He is my strongest shadow knight." "Now then, Hunter Sung, what are the rules of this test?" Jinwoo answered, "Defeat my summon and you win. If you surrender, you lose." And observing, Jinwoo thought, "Actually, I wanted to summon Baru, but that seems too dangerous." "All right, let's begin." Cha Hai-in then began to release her power aura, but Jinwoo remembered something before the fight started. Jinwoo told Hunter Cha to turn around for a moment. Jinwoo then took out the Demon King's longsword and gave it to Igris. "Use this sword to fight her." After preparations were complete, Igris and Hunter Cha now stood facing each other. Igris, with the Demon King Baran's sword, began swinging his sword towards Hunter Cha Hai-in. A single slash from the sword released a lightning strike that destroyed the floor of the training room. But easily, Cha Hai-in managed to dodge it. Jinwoo, seeing that, was impressed. "As I expected, Hunter Cha is indeed amazing. An ordinary person would have died from that attack." In that moment, Cha Hai-in, with her sword, began to counterattack. However, agilely, Igris immediately blocked the attack with his sword. Meanwhile, elsewhere, the chairman of the Hunter Association, in his office, sensed something and looked toward the training room. It seems someone is using the training room. Chairman Go Gun-hee then checked the CCTV and saw Hunter Sung Jinwoo and Cha Hai-in fighting. Since when were they there? Chairman Go Gun-hee then remembered something about Cha Hai-in's unusual behavior when questioned about Hunter Sung Jinwoo. It seems Hunter Cha Hai-in has feelings for Jinwoo. A short while later, a powerful vibration from the fight reached Chairman Go Gun-hee's room. The scene then returned to the training room. Surprisingly, Cha Hai-in had managed to defeat Igris. Jinwoo was very surprised to see that Igris had been defeated. Cha Hai-in then said, "Are you sure that Shadow Knight is your strongest soldier, Hunter Sung? Didn't you say you would summon your strongest shadow? Hurry up and summon him." Jinwoo was still hesitant and said, "You will definitely get hurt if I summon it." Chain firmly replied, "I don't care. I just want to fight it one more time. I've seen it from the recording. That ant has become your shadow, right?" Jinwoo said, "All right, if that's what you want. Baru, come out. I'll ask you one last time. Are you sure you want to do this fight?" Jinwoo thought to himself, "Actually, since becoming my shadow soldier, Baru's power has weakened slightly compared to before. Even so, Baru was born as a hunter-killing weapon. On the other hand, although Chain is trembling a little, she is determined to fight that ant again." Baru asked, "My lord, what can I do for you?" Jinwoo said, "Defeat that woman without injuring her." Baru replied, "Very well, I understand. I will do it." Baru then released his power, causing the lights and windows in the room to shatter instantly. From a distance, Chayan felt a bit afraid. This power is incredible. How did Hunter Song Jinwoo defeat a monster like that? Baru then extended his sharp claws. Seeing this, Jinwoo immediately warned Baru not to use his claws. "If that woman gets hurt, you will answer to me." Baru was slightly surprised and answered, "Understood, my lord. I will not use them." From afar, Chain stared sharply at Baru. She thought to herself, "I'm still wondering how big the gap is between my power and that ant's." As Chain was thinking that, Baru instantly appeared behind Chain in the blink of an eye. Chain, who realized it, was utterly shocked. This situation is just like before. But do you think you can defeat me the same way? Chain swiftly swung her sword backward to block it all. But surprisingly, Baru easily stopped Chain's sword slash with just 3 fingers. However, Baru was still confused about what he should do. My lord only gave one command: to defeat the enemy without making her lose face. Then I will show her the difference in our power to crush her fighting spirit. Meanwhile, Chain launched slash after slash at incredible speed. But Baru continued to dodge all her attacks with ease. Chain thought, not yet, I can go even faster. And instantly, Chain unleashed her sword technique. Yet again, Baru still managed to evade it perfectly. Chain, who saw every one of her attacks being dodged, was astonished. Impossible! He can avoid all my attacks without even moving from his spot at all. And at that moment, Baru quickly stood before Chain and roared right in her face. From the pressure of the roar alone, Chain was thrown backward. Jinwoo said, "It seems the outcome is decided. Are you satisfied now?" With a sharp gaze, Chain answered, "Not yet. I can still continue." Jinwoo thought to himself, what is she really thinking? She already knows the difference in power between her and Baru. Baru is very different from the other shadow soldiers. Besides having his own intelligence, Baru is essentially a weapon of murder. I can feel that Baru is holding himself back from killing Chain. On the other hand, Chain now stared at Baru with a sharp glare. Seeing this, Baru began to feel his wild instincts awakening. How dare you! How can prey intend to fight a predator? This is unacceptable. Baru then instantly charged towards Chain and unleashed an attack with his sharp claws. However, with her incredible reflexes, Chain managed to avoid the attack. Instantly, the floor where Chain was standing before was destroyed by Baru's claw attack. Chain then activated her skill, Sword Dance. And at that moment, Chain quickly jumped and prepared to slash Baru from the air. In response, Baru released a punch directly towards Chain's sword slash, shattering Chain's sword. However, Chain did not stop there. With a sharp look, she then activated her skill, Blade of Light. Instantly, Chain created a sword of light and directly stabbed Baru's body. From a distance, Jinwoo was greatly shocked. The moment Baru was hit by Chain's attack, the killing instinct in Baru's head reacted. Baru remembered the command given by the Ant Queen when he was born. Kill the enemy. That woman is the enemy. And finally, Baru lost control and prepared to kill the woman before him. Jinwoo shouted, "Stop!" However, Baru did not respond and was about to kill Chain with his sharp claws. And it turned out Jinwoo had stopped Baru's attack. Jinwoo said, "I ordered you to stop." Baru immediately retreated and begged for forgiveness from Jinwoo. Jinwoo then asked Chain, "Are you okay, Hunter-cha?" Chain, still sweating coldly, answered, "It seems I'm fine." Jinwoo asked again, "Why are you pushing yourself so hard? You don't have to join my guild to this extent. This was just a test. You shouldn't have risked your life. Why did you go this far?" But Chain remained silent. Jinwoo then said, "Are you perhaps interested in me?" Jinwoo thought to himself, "That doesn't seem to be it either. I don't understand your goal." Chain, who heard that, looked embarrassed. She then said, "You're right, it seems that way." Chain's face immediately turned red. The scene then shifts to America, specifically the Hunter Association office. Michael and Mrs. Sellner are seen facing the association chairman. Michael said, "I feel ashamed of myself over the previous incident with Hunter Song." The chairman replied, "I didn't call you here to hear you apologize. Tell me what really happened." Michael then explained what happened, that Mrs. Sellner saw Hunter Sung Jinwoo as one of the kings. The chairman asked, "Mrs. Sellner, do you mean Hunter Sung Jinwoo has power equivalent to a national-level hunter?" Mrs. Sellner answered, "It seems I need to explain in more detail. Usually I see that immensely powerful beings are deeply connected to the other side, and it looks like a very bright light. I usually call them kings, but your Hunter Sung Jinwoo doesn't have that light at all. The moment I saw his eyes, I only saw darkness within him. That darkness is himself." The chairman was puzzled and asked, "What darkness do you mean? Are you saying Hunter Sung is evil?" Mrs. Sellner answered that she was not talking about whether Hunter Sung Jinwoo was good or evil. but I'm talking about the source of the tremendous power he possesses. The power that Hunter Song has is not something that can be obtained from the other side. His power is limitless and purely his own. The association chairman then stood up from his chair and said, "Thank you for the explanation." The association chairman then invited Michael to go to the basement, floor 24. As the two were riding the elevator, the chairman said, "If Sellers doesn't work, we will use other methods to get Hunter Song Jinwoo." Do you still remember the S-rank gate and the glue that caused devastation in Western America? America offered a huge reward to the 5 strongest hunters in the world who survived that incident. And this is where monsters with national-level power first appeared. The fire that never dies out, and that is the dragon Kamish. That monster killed dozens of the best hunters. And would you believe it? That monster left a small but astonishing prize for us. They then arrived at a special room and opened the door. After they entered the room, the chairman said, "Look, that is the magic stone from Kamish's corpse. It's been 8 years since that incident ended, and no national-level hunter has seen this. Once again, Kamish has given an amazing gift to this country." And indeed, in the room was the preserved skull of Kamish's corpse, which had been kept there for 8 years. The scene then shifts to Sung Jinwoo's apartment. Jinwoo is seen looking in the mirror, seeing how handsome he has become now. Jinwoo then met his sister and asked, "Hey Gina, what do you think of me regarding being a man?" "Huh? Why are you suddenly asking that? Where did this absurd confidence come from?" They then started arguing like typical siblings. Jinwoo said, "All right then, I don't want to argue with you for long. By the way, I plan to create a guild, and I've been thinking of naming it Solo Guild. What do you think of that name?" Gina answered, "Huh? Are you joking? If I'm not mistaken, your ability summons those black soldiers. So technically, it's not solo anymore." Jinwoo said, "It seems you're right." Gina smiled and said, "I have an idea. How about naming it Ah-Jin Guild? Ah is me, Jin means to advance. Ah-Jin means I advance. It's also the reverse spelling of my name. What do you think, Appa?" Jinwoo answered, "That sounds good too." The scene then shifts to Chain's apartment. She can't stop thinking about the incident during the test with Jinwoo earlier. Her face is red as she rolls around in her room. She said, "What happened earlier was almost like a confession. I've really gone crazy. Now Hunter Song will probably think I'm a weird woman." Chain then tried to cheer herself up. She said, "Hunter Song is my savior. So it's only natural that I'm interested in him. Yes, that's absolutely right. Everything will be fine." But suddenly Chain remembered something from her subconscious. She saw a shadowy figure of Hunter Min Byung-gu holding her hand. Min Byung-gu said, "Please, tell Hunter Song Jinwoo that he needs more troops around him." Suddenly, Chain woke up and felt that it was indeed Hunter Min Byung-gu. The scene then shifts to the Night Guild office. Chairman Park Jung-soo received a report that a large A-rank gate had appeared in the Night Guild's territory. However, to clear an A-rank gate, at least an S-rank hunter is needed. Someone suggested asking for help from a certain person. Jung-soo answered, "Do you mean we should ask Hunter Sung Jinwoo for help? That might be acceptable. If we ask another guild, our reputation as a major guild will be tarnished. But if we cooperate with Hunter Sung Jinwoo, we will definitely become more famous. Furthermore, we can clear the raid safely. So, what has Hunter Song Jinwoo been up to lately?" His subordinate answered, "Apart from the gate that appeared on the streets previously, news about Hunter Song Jinwoo seems hard to come by. Should I just call him?" Chairman Jung-soo said, "I think this isn't something we can discuss over the phone. Let's go to his office."